Sri, we've already kicked off the second quarter earnings season, but it doesn't look like it'll be a good one for banks. What'll weigh down on them?
Yeah, so compared to the S&P 500, we're actually expecting a growth rate of 6.6% for the S&P 500, but financials are actually the worst performing sector expected this quarter at negative 3%.
Why?
So one is, it's mortgage rates are higher. That's a big drag on earnings this quarter. In fact, the worst sub-industry within the financial sector is the mortgage and thrift banks. And regional banks are also going to be hit really hard. And that's a large part due to mortgage rates being higher, less refinancing, and that was a large part of their revenues.
Well, today, the news across the headlines was concerns over the health of Portugal's largest bank. Stocks got slammed. What are U.S. banks' exposure to banks in Portugal, or for European banks for that matter, because a lot of other banks slid across Europe?
Yes, and so we're not going to see that effect this quarter per se, but down the line, banks will start explaining what their exposure is. It's tough to tell what exactly that exposure is right now, but we'll find out in the coming quarters for sure. What we're definitely going to see is credit spreads increase. So that's something we're going to keep our eye out on, how much that credit spread increases.
Now I want to go back to the mortgage theme. Wells Fargo reports tomorrow. Of course, they're big in terms of mortgage revenue, and you were saying that that's weighing on banks. Yet, Starline expects a positive surprise. So why?
So Wells Fargo is very different from most other banks. It's got very strong cash flows. It's got a fortified balance sheet. So that's one thing that goes in Wells Fargo's favor. They've got very stable earnings, and management has done a great job of getting those earnings higher and higher. So Wells Fargo, we expect to actually beat. They have a positive predicted surprise, and look for them to beat this quarter. They're one of the few bright spots actually.